Hey guys, I've got a epic unboxing today. This one's going to be a little bit different as this knife is super old school. Something I have wanted for a long time. You know what, let's use the Strider SNG to get into this guy. Make a quick incision, perfect. This is the CTS XHP OD green gunner grip and titanium. Sick knife. Let's open this thing up. What do we got? He said put it in a pouch. So guys, I bought this from a guy on Facebook that had it listed. Super nice dude. If you're watching, man, I really appreciate it. This is a knife that I've had my eye on for a long time. And when I say a long time, many years. The Grayman Dua. And for those of you guys that have been collecting knives for a long time, this knife needs no introduction. It's no longer made. This knife's been discontinued by Grayman Knives. As far as I know, Grayman is still making, I don't think they're making folders. I think they're only doing fixed blades. The gentleman I bought this from on Facebook said it was in like new condition, and he bought it originally from Grayman many years ago, and I guess probably never used it. It was maybe a GRAIL or something for him. Looks to be in perfect condition, and mine is an older version. Let's see how the action is. Silky smooth. This one is in S30V. These, I think this is the older version. They moved to CPM 20 CV. And guys, this came out a long time ago. I'm talking like, I think they quit production in maybe like, maybe like 2014, 2015, I think. But back in the day, when I first got started in collecting knives, you know, you had Hinder, you had Strider, you had Chris Reeve, and you had, let me adjust my lighting. I've got some new lighting, guys, and I'm trying to kind of tune it perfectly for the videos. But you had Hinder, Strider, you had Chris Reeve, and Grayman was one of the kind of knives that everybody talked about back in the day as being, you know, the hard use tactical folder that everybody wanted. And I always wanted one, and back in the day, you know, I wasn't spending as much money on knives. I wasn't making as much money, and so they were really big purchases. And Grayman, it was something I always wanted, but at the same time, you know, I put Hinder and Strider and Chris Reeve kind of above that as far as things that I wanted to attain and work towards those. But this is a knife that I always wanted to experience and never did. So I found it on the Facebook knife trading group and pulled the trigger. I think I paid a pretty fair price. I think originally they were $275, and the gentleman I bought it from gave me, obviously they've appreciated just because they're harder to get, and this was an excellent example, so I still think he gave me a fair price considering the condition. Lockup, so the centering is perfection. The action is silky smooth, except for me not being used to this knife. Free dropping, flies out. The lockup is excellent. Take the lock bar off. No side to side play. It just doesn't look like it's been used. Let's check the edge geometry. That is one of the things that these are known to not be great at. Definitely not sharp in my opinion. If this is the factory edge, which it might be, it's not sharp at all. Honestly, I mean, you can see doesn't do anything to my finger whatsoever. So I'm gonna get an edge put on this, guys, probably immediately, actually. As soon as I get back from my vacation I'm about to go on, get a nice fresh mirror polished edge on this thing. There's the Grayman logo. I just like how simple these things are. I think it was a husband and wife team. I can't remember what their names were, but supposedly really good people and had a great reputation for taking care of their customers, which I definitely appreciate. But yeah, it's a great looking knife. This is the configuration I wanted. They had it in a titanium lockside in G10 offering, but this is the full tie, the one I always wanted. And I just like what this knife represents. It's got phosphor bronze washers, no bearings, old school, no, you know, I think it's got a carburized lock face, no steel insert. This is how the knives were, bushing pivot, excuse me, like Chris Reeves have, or at least the Sabenza has. Meaning that you tighten it all the way down, and that's the action that you're always going to get. There's no fiddling with the tightness or anything. Like, you just cinch it down, and it lines up with the centering and has the action that was tuned from the factory, and away you go. I prefer that. I don't really like a lot of adjustability in a pivot. I like it to be the way the maker intended it to be. You tighten it down, and it's just bulletproof. As long as you understand how to disassemble and assemble, that you can mess it up, meaning you can pinch washers and things like that, that highly affect the action. As long as you understand that and basic knife maintenance, you should be good to go. I have been looking for a McNeese Mac 2 3.5, and I intend to get one. I had the money to get one that I spent on this, and I kind of did it purposefully. Does this remind you guys of that McNeese knife to a certain degree? I know this is old school, it looks a little bit different, but as far as the general appearance of the blade and the handle, and it just screams that to me. And when I saw it, I kind of connected the two. So once I get the McNeese, I'm going to do a comparison of these two, and I think they're going to compare very, very well. I think the McNeese is a modern interpretation of this knife in many ways. You know, you've got a more modern steel, you've got a more modern pivot with the bearing system, probably more modern on the clip. But other than that, you know, it's just kind of the latest and greatest hype knife is the McNeese, and this is the old school version. And this was hyped back in the day when I first started getting into knives, and I can understand why. It's got some hard useness to it, like Strider does. Very thick, very tank, very... no, it's not milled out whatsoever. The McNeese, I think, is heavily milled out to save on weight. So I am extremely, extremely excited to get my hands on a McNeese and do a comparison of this knife and that. This is one area that has caused a lot of people frustration. There's no real sharpening choil there, and kind of the way that the knife is is kind of not finished very well on the blade. It's kind of interesting. This knife to me does look sharpened, though, I'll be honest. Of ones I've seen from the factory, the person I bought it from said that it hadn't been, but I don't know, it does look sharpened to me. It does not, it just doesn't look factory. It looks very rounded or something. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter to me because I'm going to get a good edge put on this knife. But yeah, what do you guys think? Isn't it it's kind of a blast from the past? The guys that have been in this game for a long time know what this is, and I'm really impressed with it, guys. I love the really rough stone washing. That's not going to show anything with wear and over time. The pocket clip looks like very, pretty basic, no milled titanium or anything, just a spring clip. I'm guessing your jeans will probably right up to here, so you have a decent amount showing. I would prefer a deep carry clip. That's just my preference, but the thumb studs work. They're in a great place for deployment. It's that phosphor bronze hydraulic smoothness that you can just wave out. I prefer that over bearings personally, but again, when I got into knives, that's all phosphor bronze. I kind of was brought up on that, I guess, that generation of knives, and some of my favorite folders are still phosphor bronze. I just think they're fast. I like the way they feel hydraulic versus filling those individual bearings in there. Plenty of speed for deployment, and just tried and true. No bearings to lose or fall out or anything like that. It just works, and I love it. Nice, good looking standoffs, just built like a tank, guys. Definitely got some weight to it, but nothing. The size is very, probably a little bit smaller than like a Strider S&G. And the size is going to be a little bit thrown off just because the camera's at a cant, but they're a pretty comparable in size. So if you can carry one of these comfortably, you can definitely carry one of these comfortably. Or a Chris Reeve Sabenza or anything like that. Probably a little bit shorter, more stout, kind of like a McNeese. I would assume this is probably a 3.5-inch blade, right around there. So anyways, guys, once I get the McNeese, I'll do a head-to-head comparison. Not that there's going to be a winner, but just to see the evolution of a hard-use tactical folder, full tie. I think it's going to be really interesting. So this jimping is really, really cool. Really, really kind of not very fine, kind of bulky, but yeah, guys, what do you guys think about the Grayman Dua? I know they had the Dua, and then they had the same exact knife, but in a bigger size, and it was the Sawtooth. That one is huge. Definitely not that practical or carryable for me personally. But yeah, cool knife. It's funny how they use Phillips on this, but then Torx, what is that, probably T10? Looks like a T10 on the body. Yeah, great example. Thank you. Huge shout out to the guy I bought it from. You know who you are. Yeah, hopefully you're watching. I appreciate it and the quick shipping. Thanks for guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you're not, I really do appreciate it. And look forward to more knife content and just EDC guy stuff that we like. More content coming soon. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Have a good one. Bye.